to have a copy of the book, though we don't know, this distance may be a barrier, but if you care to have a copy of the book, it can be sent to you on soft copy. That will be on mind-to-mind discussion. You have to discuss then before we make it available to you. I read on. The problem we face today is not the devil, Boko Haram, pestilence, or sickness, but of disobedience. The problem we face today is not of all those things or any forces affecting any country of the world, but the problem we are facing today worldwide is the problem of disobedience. Refusal to take heed of the word of God, because the word of God is the only way out of all problems we face in life, just as I mentioned it. Then I want to read to us from the book of Exodus chapter 24 verse 7. Exodus chapter 24 verse 7. Exodus 24 verse 7. Give it to me, my engineer. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And he said, all that the Lord has said, we will do, and be obedience. Give it to me in another version, or compare the two versions together. I will read it when I'm back. Then, that is the reference there. He said, we will do it, and we'll be obedience to it. That is, if you care to have a encounter with God, two covenants. They said they will do it, and they said they will be obedience to it. But because of our refusal to subscribe to the obedience in the school of covenant, that is why we face what we face today. In Amplified version, then they took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has said we will do, and will be obedient. Will be obedient. And they took the book of covenant and read it in the audience of the people, and they said, all the Lord has said, give it to me in New King James Version. New King James Version. Compare it with original King James Version. Let me have it. I'll come back to it. We should therefore observe to the book of covenant. Whatever it says, we should do. We should do is what we will do. And we will be obedience. The book of covenant is the Bible. This was read to the hearing of the people. That will make us successful is already in the hands of the Lord. It is the book of covenant. Everything that will turn a miserable person to a fortunate person in life is already in the book of covenant, which is the Bible. Let's go back to, all right, thank you. In New King James Version, it said, then he took the book of covenant and read it in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has said, we will do, and be obedience. We will do, and be obedience. Then he took the book of covenant and read it in the hearing of the people, and they said, all that the Lord has said, we will do, and be obedient. It's still almost the same thing. All right, I'll come back to it. Let me bring point out. The people says, there we can see the book of covenant. The book of covenant is the Bible. Obedience to what? Obedience to the word of God, which is the Bible. The book of covenant is the Bible. And the Bible says it was read in the hearing of the people, and the people said, they were touched, they were convinced, and said it with their heart that all, take note of the word all, that the Lord has said, we do, and be obedient to it. That is the problem. Failures to be obedient to the book of covenant, which is the Bible, is the problem we have. Don't forget I said in the introduction that the problem we face today is not what you call problem worldwide today. But the problem we face is our failures to be obedient to the book of covenant. Well, let me quickly have a break. I'll come back in a moment.